Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to our live session of SAP MDG training. And today in our session we are going to have a quick recap about the previous demo session, as well as we are going to see the same topics in detail. Okay, and we are going, if time permits, we'll be seeing the other topics also. And before that, let me introduce you to the course pattern and the course structure that we are following. Okay, so firstly we'll be using the Google Classroom as our platform. So here if you see, there are two uh, classrooms created for each batch. So for the current batch, this is the classroom MDG June 2021. If you go here, so all the important updates will be given here. So what are the important updates are there? You can see that in the on the stream section. Okay, so you can join the meeting invite from the stream section meeting link. You don't need to check for the relevant email in your inbox. You can just directly come here and you can click on this. If there is any update about the meeting link, so I'll be sharing the same thing here itself, so you don't need to worry about that. Mostly the meeting invite or relevant emails will not be received in your email. You can access from here. The beautiful thing is, so you can install the mobile application on your Android phone or iOS iPhone, and you can access the classroom from there itself also. Okay, so that is about the stream. All important updates will be placed here. And coming to the classwork, so all the topics will be mentioned here. So if you go to the assignments, all your assignments will be here. Class notes, live class notes will be there. Recordings will be there. So here you could see the recordings, but you cannot download. Except the recording, you can download everything. Likewise, all these things you can see from here. If you go to the previous class, so there you could see assignments were updated, class notes are updated, class recordings are there. You could see presentations, everything is updated. Go to the classroom. So go to the class recording. You could see what are the topics covered in this recording session. You can open that. So here, since I am an admin, I can download that, but as a student you cannot be able to download the video. You can watch that. So your classroom access will be given for 1 year. Okay, now I can add the students. This is the admin page. Now the student status is just invited. Okay, see, it is grayed out. Once the student is joined, then it will be active like this. Go to the student Gmail account. So you would see this kind of email notification. Check all your folders including the spam. Okay, so you just click on the join. You will be taking you to the classroom. Don't switch the account because access is given only to this email account. Click on join. See, student can see the notification. Classwork, since there is no content has been updated, student cannot see the topics here. Only the content topics which are updated with the content can be seen. Okay, and if you go to the other class of the student, class recordings, watch this video. See, this student cannot download the video because access is not being given to download the videos. That is for the privacy purpose. So that's all about utilizing the classwork. Now coming to the our session. So let me take the participants details. So I would like to get these details from you. so that it would be easy for me to address you in the future. So let me note down the names from the chart.
Yeah, Kartikeya.
Yeah,
It's
Karthik.
K-R-T-I-K-A-Y.
Okay. And may I know your
K-A-Y.
KY. Okay.
Yeah, K-A-Y in the end. Yes.
Okay.
No, it's right.
May I know
SAP
your
SAP MM oblique MDG.
okay. So MDG your current skill set or upcoming skill set?
Upcoming.
Okay, I just want the current skill set
Yeah. Then SAP MM.
and total experience.
8 years.
Okay. And I hope you want to be functional consultant.
Functional. Right.
Okay. And can anyone give their details?
Yeah, this is Pradeep,
Yeah, Pradeep.
SAP ABAP,
Okay.
6 year, and
Okay.
interested in techno-functional.
Okay. And anyone else?
Prithvi,
Okay.
SAP MDM, 7 years,
Okay.
techno-functional.
Who else?
Sarabjit,
Is this spelling correct?
SERBJWK,
WK.
WET,
Okay. Okay.
SAP MDM,
Total experience.
4 years,
Okay. And what you want to be?
functional.
Function. Okay. And yeah. So today we have only these candidates joined. We have 3 more people, so they might be joining from the next class onwards. Okay. So okay. Let me. A few people joined the demo session. Few are not joined. So for everyone's sake, I will be explaining the prerequisites again. And before going to the prerequisites for the MDG consultant roles, so let me clarify a few things. Many of you have doubts like whether am I able to learn, able to crack the interview, able to get the job, or able to learn this or not. So I had uh, different type of participants in my previous batches. So the current batch is my fourth batch. Okay, this is my fourth batch only. So I had handled 3 batches before this. So I had college freshers and functional consultants were there and ABAPers were there. And I have a couple of managers also joined in my session. And there were few folks who were completely from non-SAP background. And I had end users also. And I had business analyst also. So these were the different types of participants in my previous matches. So few were joined to upgrade their skills internally itself. So they want to switch the roles internally in the organization. Few were joined for switching to the new job to get the good pay and good role, etc., etc. So because currently MDG is very hot in the market and companies are paying very high compared to different modules, and it's not that much tricky one if you know it very, very well. Okay, and that was the reasons for many people to join. And coming to the prerequisites, if you want to be a technical consultant, so you need to have the idea of these things. Core ABAP, again, complete Core ABAP is not required in terms of MDG. So if you see in Core ABAP, we have module programming, scripts, smart forms, BDCs, etc., etc. So all the Core ABAP topics are not required. So you would be familiar with data dictionary and basic report programming and creation of function modules and calling the function modules in the programs, etc. Okay, and coming to the functional consultants. So functional consultants must be having any domain knowledge. Of course, when you are continuing in the course, it's not required to have the knowledge on these areas. But by the time you plan for attending the interviews, you must gain knowledge or experience. Of course, if you don't have experience, it's not possible. So at least you have to have a good knowledge on either of the modules. Okay, so that you can say I'm MDG material, I'm a functional consultant, MDG FICO functional consultant, MDG plant maintenance functional consultant, like that. You have to, if you want to claim for that, you have to have the knowledge on any of the domains. Okay, and of course for techno functional consultant, it's a mixture of all these. And if someone want to be technical consultant or techno-functional consultant, and if you don't have the good knowledge, or if you are new to ABAP, I can provide you the ABAP videos from my previous batch. Okay. So whatever ABAP is required, whatever the extent of ABAP is required for MDG, I had covered in that videos. So I can provide you that one. You can watch them parallelly while you are attending the MDG session. So since it is parallelly, you are managing two modules. So you just need to spend an hour or two extra in daily basis. Since it is weekday batch, so you have the time over the weekend, so you can spend over the weekends. Okay, so the course takes almost 2 months. So these 2 months I would suggest you, please practice well, learn well, and try to complete the assignments on time. As you had seen in my previous batch, the most of the assignments were not done by the students. So of course, if they are not doing that one, so obviously I will be losing the interest. So I hope you guys can be able to do the assignments. So if you have any doubts, you have my WhatsApp number. You can reach out to me. So once the fee payment is done, then I will be adding you all to the WhatsApp group, based if you are interested only. And because few people will be having some privacy issues, so in adding to the WhatsApp group, I will take your confirmation before adding to the WhatsApp group, so you can discuss all your doubts, and if you have anything to know, so you can ping everything there. So I'll be addressing as soon as possible from there. Okay, so that's all from me. That's what I'm expecting from you. So I want you to be proactive. I want you to be attentive to the sessions, and please complete the assignments on time. Of course, due to this pandemic, few people will be having health issues. I can understand. So if there is a slight delay, yeah, I am okay. Of course, since it is not a school, so I cannot force you also. So I will leave it to you. So whether if you want to learn quickly and if you want to practice well, so you have to do the assignments. That's it. So that's it from me about the course. So if you want to learn, clarify anything, you can discuss. If you have any doubts, you can discuss. Anyone has any questions? If not, we will jump onto our session.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Okay, let me take you to the course agenda once again for the people who haven't joined the demo. So the total duration would be approximately 50 hours. We can make it 2 months. So we'll be giving you the server access for 2 months. That will be the S4HANA 1909 version. And of course, it would be real-time oriented training. So whatever the approach we follow in real time in achieving any requirements, so the same approach will be followed in our training also. And how we do the analysis in the real time, the same way we will be following in our training also. And study materials will be given, assignments will be there, real time scenarios will be given. Of course, if we are talking about 100 topics, for 100 topics, I may not be able to provide the real-time scenarios. Because since we are using the demo systems, IDS systems, so there will be some limitations on covering few topics, but as much as we can, we will do that. And we'll be conducting the mock interviews. Again, this is purely based on your interest. So if you are interested, then I will be conducting the mock interview. If not, I will not be forcing you. And I will assist you in preparing the resumes. And after the course also, if you are attending any interviews and if you have any doubts in cracking the interview, so I'll be giving you the support. But as I said earlier, it's not any job assurance program. I don't believe in any job assurance from any institute. So it's up to you. You have to crack the interview based on your skills, so that end of the day, you will be having the satisfaction in the job. Okay. So I will be guiding you. I'll be as your mentor. That's it. So it's up to you how you take that inputs, how you implement those things for your career. Okay. And the live session recordings will be there for 1 year for you. And these are the topics we are going to cover. We'll start with the introduction to MDG. This will be mostly theoretical portion only, but this is the core. If you don't understand this one, then the further topics will not be that clear for you. And we'll be seeing the baseline configurations. Means when you are given a new system, so what are the base configurations required to set up the new system? So that we will be seeing. Since we cannot have the new system, so I'll be showing you few things practically, few theoretically with some screenshots. Okay, but that will be more than sufficient for you to set up any new system. And data modeling. So here we see how we can model the data. For example, if you take Material Master. Material Master has Material Master basic data, plant data, storage locations, descriptions. So how the data is organized. So if you are aware of the backend functionality, so we have Mara table, which is linked to Marcy, and again, Marcy is linked to MARD table. They have the relationships between these three tables. Similarly, how the data relationship is built in MDG. So that is nothing but the data modeling. This is at a high level only. So that we are going to see in the data modeling. And service mapping too. So we have MDG, so we have the backend system. So how we can map the data? So that is nothing but service mapping too. Don't worry if you don't understand these terms at the moment. So we are going to discuss in detail in upcoming session. And data quality and check, how we can ensure the quality of master data in MDG. And user interface, of course. As you know, user interface is used to interact with the functionality, how user can interact, how we can design the UI. So that all we are going to see in the UI modeling. And process modeling. So in MDG, we have something called governance process flow. If you have watched my demo video, you must be understanding. So how we can build the workflow, MDG workflow, BRF plus workflow in process modeling. How we can send email notifications. And not only this, there are some more functionalities also. We are going to see all those things in the process modeling. And data replication framework. So MDG provides a strong integration across SAP and non-SAP systems. So how we can replicate the master data to different systems. So that is being discussed in the data replication framework. And data import framework. So we must be having some data source files data. So how we can load the data into MDG system. that we will be seeing into the data import framework. And of course, last but not least, enriching MDG standard code or features. So definitely every customer will be having their own requirements. So most of the customers won't go with the standard solution as is. So they want to enhance the standard functionality as per their needs. So how we can enhance, how we can perform the enhancements in MDG. So that we are going to see. So these topics are organized in the course curriculum by unit, but when it comes to the reality in our training, so I may not be covering in the same sequence. So this is just the topic wise sequence, but I will be going with the logical sequence. Okay, so when I say logical sequence, so if I'm talking about data modeling, if logically this is linked to some other topic which is not on the unit 4, not on the unit 5, but on unit 6, then I will be immediately jumping onto unit 6. So likewise, the logical sequence will be discussed so that you will not be missing the flow. Okay, so since it is not a good practice to define that logical sequence in the course curriculum, I just categorize it into the units. That's it. By the end of the course, you will be seeing everything will be covered. Okay. That's all about the course agenda. So any doubts from anyone? Okay. Okay. Let's start with our session if no one has any doubts. So let me give a quick recap about the MDG introduction, which was covered in the demo session. Few people were not attended the demo, and a few might have been watched the video. So I just give you some quick recap. So this is the agenda for this presentation: master data and master data management. And we'll see what is data governance. We'll see the overview of SAP MDG. We'll see what are the interfaces used in SAP MDG and what are the out-of-the-box applications and what is a governance process flow and what are the various deployment options in MDG and what is MDG architecture, what architecture MDG follows, and what are the various business processes in MDG. And we'll see a small demo in the system to indicate all these things. And only few of these are covered in the demo session. And we'll be seeing those topics also in detail in the live sessions from today onwards. Okay. And let me take you through the live class notes. So here, this live class notes document will be shared with you. So for entire course, this is not the only document. I will divide into 3 or 4 documents. So this is the day 1. If you click on this, it will take you to the day 1 class notes. If you want to go to the home, just click on this. It will take you to here. So maybe for 10 classes or 15 classes, one document will be shared. And for next 15 classes, I will be sharing another document like this. Okay. So this was the demo. So here we had taken one example of Amazon e-commerce portal for iPhone. So the actual price of iPhone XS Max 256 GB gold variant was 1 lakh, but it was incorrectly updated 80,000. And so that it leads to the some 80 lakhs of loss to the organization or Amazon. So that was the error happened in the pricing of the master data. So this was the impact for having this master data error. Okay, so that's why master data is having huge impact on the business. So we have in this scenario, we had different master data, mobile data, customer data, supplier data, and whatever the transactions are there, that is considered as the transactional data. So this was covered in the demo. So that's why I'm just giving a quick recap at high level. So we have to ensure that master data is correct and accurate all the times. Okay. how we can ensure that one. So we have different types of data in SAP. We have basic data, basis data, organizational data, master data, transactional data. Basis data covers with all the system relevant installation and system resources like memory, buffer, etc. And for every customer, we will be creating different clients. Like a golden client will be there by default, and working client will be there, and testing client will be there. Likewise, as per the requirement, different clients will be there. That client creations and client copies and client backups, everything will be done by the basis team. And they will be creating some users, and the security team will be handling the roles, everything, etc., etc. All considered as the basis data. And organizational data, in every organization there will be different departments. Each department will having different roles, position, manager, team lead, senior managers, etc., etc. Okay, 1 second, one of the parts. Okay, so that's about the organizational data and master data. So in MDG, we are handling these master data: material master, customer, supplier, business partner, equipment, function, location, MRO, task list, etc., etc. And we have transactional data: purchase order, sales order, and finance, general ledgers, balances, vendor balances, etc., etc. So in MDG, what we are dealing with among these 4 types of data. So MDG deals mainly with the master data. So we are dealing mainly the master data in MDG. Okay. We don't handle the basis data, organizational data, transactional data in MDG. That doesn't mean that we don't have this data. We will be having this data, but we don't take lead on this data in MDG. We take lead only on master data in MDG. Our main focus is on master data. The name itself says master data governance. Okay. So now, what are the various challenges of master data? So we had seen this in the demo session. Let's take this scenario. The data is spread across different geographical locations. Okay, for some customer. And there are different challenges for being the data spread across different regions. There may be duplicate data, there may be some incorrect data, the data may be incomplete. And if this kind of data is there, then definitely the reports will not be that accurate. So unreliable data. And definitely if data is spread across this one, there will be some cost-wise concerns, storage-wise infrastructure. It can be IT or humans or any resource. And data cleansing also need to be done if there are so much duplicate data, incorrect data, incomplete data, all these things. So all these problems, these are only few, but there will be many. All these problems can be overcome by using data governance. Okay, so we can govern the data. That means we apply some rules on the data so that the data will be in control. The data will be as accurate as possible. So if the data governance is not there, what happens? Okay, so of course, whatever the problems are there, that will occur. Like duplicate data will be coming, and unreliable data will be there, and inconsistent, incorrect data will be there. So that the master data, if master data has all these issues, so definitely there will be some impact on the organization's revenue. And why is effective data governance important to the business? Of course, we have just discussed. So that is because to improve the organization's revenue and to improve the consistent data, and so that the accurate data will be shared among the different departments. So why it will impact? Because as long as master data is standalone, then there won't be any profit or loss, gain or loss in the organization. But whenever the transactions are started with that master data, then these things come into picture. For example, if you take the same thing, let's say I stopped my master data with this. There are no customers, 0 customers. So can you see if there is any loss or profit for the organization? No. But when it started like this, then we calculate what is the profit, what is the loss, etc., etc. That means whenever the transactions are started, then only the impact comes into the picture. And where in an organization data governance programs are located. So definitely wherever, simple answer is wherever we want to govern the master data. Let's say, let me give you some example. Let's say I have my master data here. This is my master data. It can be material. Okay. I have my CRM system. I have my S4 system. I have my ECC system. I have some SRM system. Okay, and I have Oracle system. Sorry, I'm not that good at this drawing using this pen. Okay, so there is a master data in different systems. Now, here this point is where our programs are located. That means it's up to the customer whether they want to govern all this master data or they want to govern only individual master data. They just want to govern the master data of CRM. They just want to govern the master data of S4 or ECC or SRM or Oracle. We cannot decide this one. That decision will be taken by the customer. So customer takes a decision which data they want to govern. There with the master data governance programs will be located. Okay. So that is about this point. And when the organization needs the data governance. So let's say a customer is implementing a new box, maybe a SRM box. So are they want to introduce the data governance immediately? It's up to them. If they want to introduce the data governance to control the master data from the day one onwards, they may introduce, or after certain point of time. So if they feel that the data is not consistent, there are some many errors in the data, and they want to have some control over the data, then they may come back and introduce the data governance. Okay. Likewise, many state governments are imposing some rules only when there is some incident happen. Okay. So when certain incident is happened, then they are introducing some new rules. Initial precautions are not being taken. If they take that one, then those kind of incidents may not happen. So likewise, same thing, same principle implies here also. And why do we need it? Yeah. So this answer includes the answers of these 4 questions. Okay. So any questions on this slide from anyone?
So Venkat, is it possible to apply the master data governance on the materials only? That is the M block, and it is automatically transferred to different blocks.
Yeah, it's not only for material. I just taken one example.
Okay.
And of course, I haven't come back with the master data governance. I mean, our SAP master data governance is a general topic, and as I have depicted here, this is just one example. Of course, we cannot implement MDG on all these areas that we are going to see in the upcoming slides.
Okay.
And now, how this data governance can be done using SAP. So SAP came up with a module, SAP MDG, Master Data Governance 2. So we had seen data governance, how this data governance principle can be applied or implemented in SAP. That's SAP came up with a solution in form of MDG, Master Data Governance. Now we will see a little overview about SAP MDG. Okay, so we'll be explaining you point by point. It would be more theoretical. So MDG enables the business to consolidate and govern master data. So what do I mean by consolidate and govern master data? Okay, let me take another example. I have business partner data, BP. So let's say I have different source system, CRM system, SRM system. Maybe I'm not sure if Oracle has the business partner concept or not. Let's say Oracle system, and I have some EMDB system. Okay, some XYZ client customer is having the master data spread across these different systems. Now, it's not like every system is sharing the same data. It's just, I just mentioning that BP data is there in all these systems, not the same data being shared. Okay. Now, here, now this XYZ customer wants to implement MDG for their business. Now, when they want to implement the MDG for their business, they have to follow these two principles. They have to consolidate and govern. Of course, consolidation is optional, depends on their interest. Let's say they want to control the master data. They want to govern the master data of all the systems. Then they can come up with the consolidate concept. If they want to govern the master data only on CRM system, or only on EMDB, or only on SRM, or only on a particular system, then there is no concept of consolidation comes into picture. Okay, so when it comes to the consolidation, how it works is, let's say I have my MDG box. Now I will tell you how MDG works. Okay, so now what are all the different systems? CRM system, SRM, and EMDB, Oracle system. These are my source systems. Now, customer want to implement MDG for all these source systems data. Now, you may get a question, when the customer wants to implement MDG, what they are going to do? Are they going to install MDG on each system, or how it going to be? The answer is, they are not going to implement MDG in each and every system. Okay, rather what they do is, they install MDG on a separate system. Let's say it is S4 HANA system or ECC, whatever it may be. So they install MDG on S4 system. Now, they govern the master data from here, and that master data will be used by the source system. So for that, what they need is, they need to have the source data readily. Okay, they collect the master data from this here, they transfer from here to here, they transfer from here to here, they transfer from here to here. So what they do here, They have all the master data from the different source system. Now, they validate the master data of each system if that is consistent or not. If any errors are in the data are there, if the data is inconsistent, if anything is missing, they will correct all the data. And finally, what they do, they send back the governed master data to the relevant systems. This is at high level, how it works. That is the meaning of consolidate and govern the master data. And let's say I have another system, ECC. So customer want to govern only this master data. Then what they do? They don't install MDG separately. They install MDG on this only. And here itself, they govern the master data. We are going to see a bit more detail about this topic in the upcoming session. I just want to give you some quick understanding of consolidation and governance of master data. So any questions on this from anyone? Okay. So now, so master data is shared across an enterprise to run the business operations, transactions, and associate enterprise master data. So yeah, as we have seen, so generally master data will be shared across the different departments in an organization. So based on that, we are going to see how we can control and govern the master data. Okay. So identification of master data varies from industry to industry. That means a few industries will be having different master data. Likewise, if you take any plant, let's say Reliance Oil and Gas plant, so they will not be having all the master data. They'll be having only few set of master data. They might not be having any function location or task list or any different master data. And if you take any oil and gas thing, so they might be having material master and only the finance master data. And coming to the plant maintenance, they might be handling only equipment and function location master data. So among all this master data, even they want to govern only the material master data. They may not want to govern all the master data that they have. So that depends on the business, which master data they want to govern. So only for that master data, MDG will be implemented. Okay. Now, so what kind of master data is there in MDG? Material master, business partner, customer master, supplier master. There is something called FICA, contract accounts receivable and payable, internal orders, finance master data, general ledger account, cost center, profit center, etc. Okay, and MDG provides some reusable templates and frameworks to extend the standard functionality. Okay, so when we have the there are some good things about using MDG. So most of the functionalities are given in the form of APIs, some standard classes. So we can reuse that classes to achieve some functionality. Of course, we have to have our custom functionality also. And when we want to govern the custom master data, let's say if some master data is not maintained here, which is not delivered by the standard from SAP, then what we need to do is we need to build a custom master data. Likewise, let's say some Reliance customer want to implement some report, normal report. So none of the SAP standard reports suits his requirement. So what we are doing, we will build a custom report. Similarly, if standard master data governance doesn't meet the customer requirement, then we need to build a custom master data object. So this also will be easy because there are some reusable templates in MDG. We can reuse them to build the custom governance objects. That makes our life easy. Okay, so there is something called partner developer solution extensions. So nothing but SAP has MDG solution extension partners. There are two companies in the market at the moment, Utopia and SNV. So Utopia has developed plant maintenance and RFM solutions, and SNV has implemented this one, FICA. As per my knowledge, these two companies are having this master data implemented. Okay. Enterprise asset management, plant maintenance, they named it as enterprise asset management, and the RFM, article master, and FICA, finance control and audit payroll. Okay. And these are the various MDG capabilities that we are going to see in the system demo. Okay. So any questions from anyone so far?
No.
Okay, so it's already 8:05. So I would like to wind up the session for today with this. So tomorrow we are going to see MDG deployment options, MDG governance process flow in detail. It's discussed at a high level in the demo session, but we are going to see at high level in detail in the tomorrow's session. So if no one has any questions, so we can wind up the call for today.
Okay, Venkat. Have a nice day.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.